see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy...
The MotoGP world was once again rocked by Toprak Razgatlioglu's extraordinary performance. In a closed-door 2026 MotoGP test session, the Turkish rider captured attention after demonstrating spectacular speed on the latest generation Yamaha motorcycle. In fact, the reaction from Pramac Yamaha executives was described as hysterical at what Toprak did on the track. From the start of the session, Toprak immediately displayed an aggressive performance. He quickly adapted to the MotoGP bike, showcasing his signature style, known for its extreme performance since the World SBK era. Brutal late braking, sharp lean angles, and precise motorcycle control stunned many in the paddock. Several sources within the team reported that Toprak managed to set a lap time surprisingly close to that of the premier MotoGP riders. This was despite the fact that it was still a test session, not an official race. This fact left the Pramac Yamaha boss unable to hide his shock. His emotional reaction was even caught on camera, demonstrating the growing expectations surrounding Toprak. The most striking aspect was Toprak's corner entry. With his extreme braking style, he forces the bike to remain stable under hard deceleration, something previously considered impossible to achieve consistently in MotoGP. Yet, Toprak actually looks comfortable, as if the bike was designed specifically for his riding style. Not only is he fast on a single lap, but Toprak is also considered consistent over long runs. This is a dangerous signal for his rivals. If he's already this competitive in the early stages of testing, many are beginning to speculate that Toprak could immediately become a serious threat in MotoGP 2026. Yamaha itself is reportedly very satisfied. Telemetry data shows that Toprak is able to maximize the bike's potential, especially during corner entry and the transition from braking to acceleration. This opens up a huge opportunity for Yamaha and Pramac to develop a bike setup that is truly tailored to Toprak's character. And here's the complete news. The 2026 MotoGP test brought another major surprise. This time, it wasn't from an established MotoGP world champion, but rather from a figure whose arrival had been shrouded in doubt since his arrival, Toprak Razgatlioglu. But on the track, all those doubts slowly began to disappear, even giving way to admiration. In a private test session held by Yamaha and the Pramac team, Toprak performed far beyond expectations. From the very first lap, the Turkish rider immediately displayed high intensity. There was no hesitation. There was no apparent slow adaptation. Toprak entered the track with one clear message. He was ready to compete at the highest level. The atmosphere in the Pramac Yamaha paddock suddenly turned tense. The technicians were intently monitoring the data screens, while team officials incessantly watched Toprak's every move on the track. When the times began to appear, expressions of shock could not be hidden. The Pramac boss was even described as hysterical, not because he was panicking, but because he hadn't expected Toprak to be so fast. What stunned everyone was Toprak's riding style, which remained completely unchanged. He continued to rely on super slow braking, entering corners at extreme angles, and then forcing the bike to stabilize before opening the throttle. A style previously considered only suitable for superbikes actually worked effectively on the 2026 MotoGP bike. Several Yamaha engineers acknowledged that Toprak's performance nearly surpassed data simulations. During corner entry, Toprak was able to hold the bike steady during hard deceleration, while maintaining control of the rear wheel. This was where his superiority became apparent. Not only was he fast, but he also provided invaluable data for Yamaha's future motorcycle development. He also consistently performed during long runs. This was a crucial point that immediately changed the perspective of many. Typically, rookie riders in MotoGP can only be fast for 1 or 2 laps. But Toprak was able to maintain his rhythm, even when the tires began to lose performance. Inside sources reported that Toprak's lap time was only slightly off the experienced MotoGP riders participating in the session. This was despite Toprak's status as still in the adaptation phase. This fact drastically changed the atmosphere within the Pramac team. From being a mere test rider, Toprak was now being viewed as a serious long-term project. Yamaha itself was reportedly very impressed. Telemetry showed that Toprak was able to explore the bike's potential in areas that had previously been difficult to maximize. The combination of Toprak's aggressive style with the characteristics of the 2026 Yamaha motorcycle was said to open up new development directions, particularly in terms of braking stability and quick changes of direction. Reaction in the paddock began to spread. Several rival teams were quietly monitoring this development closely. Toprak's name was once again a major topic of conversation. Many began to ask, if he was this fast in testing, what would happen when the real race began? This test was a strong signal that Toprak Razgatlioglu was not just a superbike star, trying his luck in MotoGP. He came with extraordinary technical skills, mental fortitude, and courage. MotoGP 2026 seemed to be a new stage for Toprak to prove that his extreme style was not a weakness, but a deadly weapon. The official launch of the 2026 Pramac Yamaha MotoGP team not only marked a new era for Yamaha as a factory satellite team, but also served as an important platform for Toprak Razgatlioglu to convey his stance and determination ahead of his full debut in the Premier class. The Turkish rider appeared confident during his public unveiling alongside Jack Miller. However, what drew the most attention was Toprak's statement after the event, when he openly admitted that he still carries the superbike style in his MotoGP adaptation process. "It's impossible for me to change everything straight away," Toprak said. "My riding style was shaped by superbikes, especially when braking and corner entry. But now I'm learning how to adapt it to MotoGP." Toprak is known as one of the most extreme late-braking riders in motorcycle racing. This style has made him dominant in World Superbike, but it also presents a significant challenge when facing MotoGP prototype bikes, which are much stiffer, more powerful, and more sensitive to rider input. In the private test session prior to the launch, Toprak was reported to still frequently use an aggressive corner entry style, something that immediately became the subject of intense discussions between him and Yamaha engineers. However, Toprak emphasized that Yamaha didn't force him to change instantly. "Yamaha gave me time. They didn't ask me to be another rider," he continued. "They wanted me to remain Toprak, but with the MotoGP version." Following the launch of Pramac Yamaha, Toprak also admitted that this transition was the biggest challenge of his life as a professional racer. He didn't shy away from the difficulties he would face, especially when competing against the seasoned MotoGP world champions. "I know it won't be easy. MotoGP is very different. But that's what
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching.